Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. If you understand that reference, you've probably been sitting on the couch a lot lately. And haven't we all? So I thought today we could practice a flow called My Hips Don't Lie. And this is designed to get deep into those tight spaces, areas where we're holding tension from sitting more often than we might normally, not moving around as much as you typically would. So I'd like you to also pay attention during this flow to any repeated thoughts or emotions that come up for you. Your hips tend to be areas to store emotion and strong feeling. So it's not uncommon to feel a little panic, to feel an urge to escape the strong sensations that we'll be going into. But I urge you to be present, to be open, and to know that you're okay even in the midst of the strong struggle. So without further ado, let's begin. If you're using a mat, take your feet just a little wider than the width. You want your feet more than hip width apart. And face your toes outward. And we'll inhale to reach arms up. And exhale, arms down at your side. Bring your hands together at your heart. And take a moment to settle into the space. Generate focus and awareness. Begin to listen to the sound of your breath. Let that sound be your constant companion and your anchor to the present moment as you move throughout your practice. Next inhale, bring your arms overhead. Then exhale, bend your knees and rest your hands on top of them. Alternate twisting from one side to the other. And make a rhythm with your breath here. I like to inhale at center and exhale to twist. You can go fast or maybe slow, whatever works best for you. And we'll come back to center. Inhale, reach all the way up. Meet your palms together and bring them down to your heart as you sink down into Malasana. Press your elbows to the inside of your knees and lengthen your spine. Maybe rock your weight from side to side. If you notice that your heels don't reach the floor here, you might like the support of maybe a little towel stuffed underneath the back of your heels. Now with your inhale, strengthen your legs and reach all the way up. Then exhale, sink all the way down. Continue this flow with your breath at your own rhythm. Exhale down, inhale up. Start to build a little heat in your legs, in your hips. And we'll meet sinking down. Place your hands on the floor. Anchor your right foot and step your left foot back into lizard lunge. Now you're welcome to stay up on your palms. Maybe place something beneath your palms if you need to come up a little higher. Here I've got my blocks, but if you don't have blocks, you could find maybe a stack of books or something to put underneath there. Or you could come down onto your forearms. If If you'd like, you might rest your left knee on the ground, or you can keep it up, your choice. Take deep breaths and pull your inhales as low into your belly as you can while lengthening through the crown of your head. And come back up to your palms. Step your left foot forward. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, sink all the way down. Hands to the ground. Step your right foot back into lizard. Now right away you might notice differences that you feel from side to side, and it's important to pay attention to those, especially when we go deep into our hips. So if you tried to go down lower on the other side and that worked fine, but it's feeling a little too intense on this side, feel free to stay up. Or grab your block, something to support you. Keep your breath flowing. With your next inhale, step forward, reach all the way up, and exhale, fold forward. Heel toe your feet into center, parallel to one another. Release the top of your head straight down towards the floor. Maybe grab onto your opposite elbows. And if you like, you can sway from side to side. And release your grip. Inhale, roll up, reach overhead. Bring your palms together down to your heart. Anchor your right foot. Bring your left foot up into tree. Now you could always begin with your foot against the floor for a little more support. You can walk over to a wall and hold onto the wall if that makes you feel more secure. Your foot can be on your calf or to your thigh above your knee, but please don't place it directly over your knee. And notice if your hip kind of juts out to the side, and push down through your foot to lengthen up through your hip and smooth your hip down. If you feel wobbly, keep your palms pressed firmly at your heart and fix your gaze on one single point on the floor. If you feel comfortable in your balance and you'd like to go to a different place, you could move your arms. Maybe try something asymmetrical. Maybe reach behind you to your opposite elbows. Go wherever you'd like. Now bring hands back to your heart. Into figure 4, your left ankle goes on top of your right knee. Sink your hips down. And draw your belly up and in towards your spine. Sink your tailbone down towards your heel. Your hands could stay together, or you could reach down to the floor, your blocks, or hold on to your standing leg. With an inhale, raise your arms and bring your foot down across the other so your pinky toes line up together. Squeeze your thighs together and then fold forward. Uncross your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, roll up, reach up, palms together, down to your heart. Anchor your left foot, bring your right foot up in tree. Now your balance might feel different from side to side as well, so feel free to adjust. Maybe go a little deeper into your pose, maybe back it off just a little. And palms to your heart, right ankle on your left knee for figure 4. Lower your hips down. Maybe reach down or around your standing leg. Take 3 deep breaths and really surrender to the stretch here. Let gravity lower your hips and deepen into those tight places in your hip. Next inhale, raise your arms. Step your foot down across. Squeeze your thighs together and fold forward. Uncross your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll up, reach up. And exhale, swan dive. Anchor your right foot. Step your left foot back in low lunge. You rest your left knee down. If you need a little extra cushion, if you're on a hard floor, you could always double up the long edge underneath your knee if you need extra cushion there. Or maybe slide a little towel or a blanket beneath you. Now you can keep your hands on the floor or bring them up on your supports, maybe up on top of your knee. Take a moment to breathe and pulse with your breath as you allow gravity to deepen you into your stretch. You might try raising your arms. Maybe look up. Bring your left hand down to the floor and point your right arm to the back of your mat. If you'd like to go deeper, bend your left knee and reach towards your foot. You might be able to hold that grip. If you can't quite reach, you might be able to hold onto your pant leg, or you could grab your strap and loop that around your foot. As you draw your heel closer to your body, you will deepen your stretch. You might explore going onto the outside edge of your right foot. That'll open your hip a little deeper into the side. Now release your grip, frame your foot with your hand, step your left foot forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll up, reach up. Exhale, swan dive. Step your right foot back into low lunge. Rest your knee, maybe take a moment to add some cushion there if you need a little support. You might find a good place for your hands here, either on the floor, on your supports, or up on your knee. Pulse with your breath, deepen into your stretch. raise your arms. Sweep your right hand down to the floor. Point your left arm towards the back of your mat. You could bend your knee and reach for the grip around your foot. Maybe this time you need your strap. Maybe this time you don't. And then tip your weight gently to the outside edge of your left foot. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. You might even have room to come down onto your forearm or onto a block. Slowly and gently untwist. Frame your foot with your hands and step forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll up, reach up. Bring your hands against the small of your back. If your wrists allow for it, you might flip your fingers straight up. And keep firm pressure in your hands as you let your hips move forward. Soften your glutes and use your breath to expand in between each vertebra. Lift your heart. Draw your shoulder blades towards each other and slide them down towards your hands. Tip your gaze all the way back. Draw your chin towards your chest. Rise up, reach overhead. Have a deep breath in. And exhale, swan dive. Make your way back into downward facing dog. You can pedal your legs, shake your head yes and no. And with your inhale, shift your weight forward into plank. Maybe you bring your knees down to the mat. Then exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. And exhale into child's pose. Now here you might prefer having your knees together, or you might like your knees apart. You can stretch your arms forward or bring them back along your side. Maybe a little cushion underneath your forehead. Take 3 deep breaths. Make your way back into down dog. With your inhale, raise your right leg. At first, your hips are level to the ground, your toes face straight down. Now, stack your hips open and circle your ankle. You might bend your knee and push through your heel towards the left side of the room. Now close your hip and step through in runner's lunge. You'll pivot on both feet to face your feet towards the right. And root your right hand down. Be sure that your left hand down. Be sure that your shoulder stays behind your wrist crease. And inhale to raise your right arm up. And as you exhale, sink your hips down towards the floor and point towards the back of your mat. Inhale, lift your hips up, reach up. And exhale, sink down. Continue with your breath. We'll meet with your arm raised, hips lifted, and point your feet forward back into runner's lunge. Inhale, step back and plank, vinyasa. Next breath, raise your left leg. Now stack your hips, circle your ankle. Maybe bend your left knee and push through your heel towards the right side of the room. Close your hip, shift forward into runner's lunge. Pivot on your feet, point your toes towards the left edge of your mat, and raise your left arm. Take a deep breath to reach up, and exhale, lower down, point towards the back of your mat. Meet with your arm raised. Point your feet forward, runner's lunge. Inhale, plank, vinyasa. Next breath, raise your right leg. Now shift forward to plank. Bring your knee towards your nose. Inhale back to three-leg dog. And exhale forward, knee to your same side elbow. Inhale back, three-leg dog. And exhale forward, knee across to your opposite elbow. Inhale back. Flow through that one more time. Exhale forward. Inhale back. We'll meet back in three-legged dog. And sweep forward into pigeon. Now feel free here to take a block or a pillow, and you can nestle it right under your right hip. Now you might experiment also with changing the angle of your shin in accordance to the angle of the front edge of your mat. So the more intense stretch will be closer to parallel to the front edge of your mat. Less intense, you'll bring your shin a little closer in towards your body. So feel free to explore and follow the intuition of your body. Honor that intuition and just breathe deeply. We'll be here for a few moments. So get yourselves nice and supported. Bring focus to your breath. Dive deep into that rhythm. Use each inhale to create space in those tight places in your hip and your low back. And exhale, soften and release into that new space. Continue that expansion with every inhale and release with every exhale. come back up to your palms. And slowly, carefully, make your way back into three-legged downward dog. Next inhale, shift forward into plank. You might keep your right leg lifted. And vinyasa, exhale down, inhale up, exhale back. Next breath, raise your left leg. Shift forward to plank, bring your knee towards your nose. Inhale back. Exhale forward, knee to same side elbow. Inhale back. And exhale across, knee to opposite elbow. Inhale back. One more time. Back in three-legged dog. Shift forward into pigeon. If you'd be more comfortable remaining up on your palms, you're absolutely welcome to be there instead. And consider finding length out through your right leg. Anchor the top of your foot to the mat. And if you can, engage the pressure with the top of your foot so that you can clear a little space underneath your right knee. That will be your fully engaged version of pigeon. Settle into your breath. Press up to your palms. Step back into three-legged downward dog. Inhale forward to plank. Vinyasa. Look between your hands. Step or hop forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll up, reach up. Bring your palms down to your heart. Bend your knees and come onto your toes. With an inhale, reach your arms overhead and releve onto the balls of your feet. And palms come back to your heart as you lower all the way down, hips over your heels into toe stand. If you need to reach down, you could grab onto the floor or your blocks, or keep your palms at your heart. Move your knees apart, reach forward, and let your forehead down towards the floor. With as much grace as you can, come down onto your bottom. Bring your knees up into boat. Now you can always hold your knees Maybe your feet are barely above the floor, or hands could come to the back of your thighs or reach forward. But try to squeeze your knees in towards your chest and roll your shoulders back, lift your heart. Maybe you extend your legs up. Keep your thighs rolling in towards center together. Keep your feet and your toes active. Let your breath flow deep down into your belly and release tension from your eyes and your jaw. Take the soles of your feet together and draw your heels as close in as you can. Bound angle pose. Your feet press firmly together. Your tailbone rounds down on the floor. Then pull with your hands. Find length up through the crown of your head. Keep your left leg where it is. Extend your right leg out long. Your foot snugs in against your thigh, and then you fold forward. If you can't quite reach your foot, you could grab onto your shin or your ankle, or loop a strap or a towel around your foot. And once you have that grip, gently pull your elbows down towards the floor. Release your forehead down towards your leg. And roll yourself up, reach overhead. Plant your left hand behind you and lift your hips up. Point your right arm straight to the back of your mat, your palm facing down. And on your exhale, release back to your seat. Take your right leg behind you into a half pinwheel. And your right hand across to your left knee, lift up and lengthen and twist towards the left. Untwist. Bring your right leg on top of left into fire log. Now keep both of your ankles flexed. And if you have a large space here between your knee and your foot, you could hold your knee for support. You could stack a block or a pillow in between. And just take a moment to shimmy side to side to anchor your sits bones down evenly. And if this feels entirely uncomfortable, you're welcome to pick a more comfortable seated position. You might stay upright and just breathe deeply and experience the sensations of deep stretch in the outsides of your hips. If you think you have more room to move, you can bring your hands out front and slowly let yourself release forward. Use your breath as a guide and go slowly. Let gravity do all of the work for you. Come back upright. And extend your left leg. Squeeze your foot in against your thigh. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, roll yourself up, reach overhead, and plant your right hand behind you. Lift your hips up, reach towards the back of your mat. Exhale, release down to your bottom and take your left leg behind you into pinwheel. Your left hand across to your right knee. Inhale to lift up and exhale, twist. Untwist. Bring your left leg on top of right into fire log. Notice the differences that you feel from the side compared to the other. And then without labeling those differences, just drop those labels and appreciate what you feel in this moment. Stay with your breath. Stay here in your body. If you'd like to remain upright, go ahead. Or maybe take your hands out front and sink down a little deeper. Rise up and unstack your legs. Bring your feet hip width apart, toes facing straight forward. Come down onto your back for bridge. With your inhale, lift your hips up. Bend your arms 90 degrees and firm your elbows to the floor to lift your belly and your hips even higher. And stretch your mat forward with your feet. Firm the back of your head to the floor and create more space for your breath. Take 3 deep breaths. On your exhale, release down. Let your knees tip over to the right and across to the left. Move them side to side. Take your knees to center. Lift your feet and place your hands upon your knees. Draw circles with your knees to massage your low back into your mat. And circle the other direction. And reach up into happy baby. Elbows on the inside of your knees, hands to the outside edge of your feet. Pull your hands down against your feet as you press your feet up into your hands. Lengthen your spine, breathe deep down into your belly. Release your grip. Hug your knees in tight to your chest and rock side to side. When you're ready, tip over onto your right side. Pause for 1 breath. And come up to a comfortable seat. And we'll practice Ujjayi, the ocean sounding breath. One thing I really like to do for breathing exercises is take some sort of pillow or blanket and just roll the edge of it wedged directly underneath your bottom. And just having a little bit of support there to tilt your pelvis forward can open your diaphragm and your lung area a lot more and allow for a deeper breath. So for Ujjayi, you'll lightly press your tongue against the roof of your mouth. And you constrict the flow of air coming in and out of your nose. That makes the sound like ocean waves crashing or like fogging up window. And as you breathe in, you want to direct your inhale to expand your ribs side to side, and then your exhale to contract in towards center. So you can watch for a moment and jump in when you're ready. When you're ready, return to your natural breath. Inhale, reach overhead. Meet your palms together and bring them down to your heart. Love and light to you all and your families. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste.